this build order, guys. I want to record a build order that I find very interesting and is one of the strongest strategies for team games in my opinion. You can surprise your opponents and you can play very well in certain maps using this strategy. I'm talking about the Cuman 2 TC Boom on Feudal Age. So basically, let's go and understand how this is gonna work. Cumans, defined as a cavalry civilization, have this unique bonus here. They are very unique thanks to that. They can make one additional town center a second town center on the Feudal Age. This town center will be able to produce villagers, will be able to do anything that your first town center does. Is just a regular town center. What are some of the issues? First, this town center takes a bit more time to be built than the ones on the Castle Age, so it's not so fast to boom. You're gonna probably have to add more views to build this fast. And of course, that doesn't come without anything else, right? They also have Siege Workshop on Feudal Age if you want to use. Their cavalry is faster. They have as unique unit the Keep Check, which is a cavalry archer, a fast firing cavalry archer. Remember, if you already know the Manguidai, they're kind of a Manguidai. They also have the Steppe Husbandry as unique attack, Cuman Mercenaries. Those are just going to play some part on the later game. And here's something interesting about the Cumans. They guys have palisade walls with 15% more hit points, which means that if you are playing a map that you can wall, let's say that you are playing in a Golden Pit. Well, it's an open map, it's a land map, but it's very easy to place a few palisades and get yourself walled. So Cumans are an option here, even for 1v1, but I would honestly consider this strategy to be much more viable in team games. But of course, as I said, there's something that you need to pay attention on the Cumans. They do not have one of the most important stuff here for the defense. They do not have the stone walls. I'm not finding the stone wall here on the tech tree. I wanted to see the symbol of saying that, oh, you cannot build the stone walls. Here it is, okay. You can see that you have the palisade walls, those palisade walls that are a lot stronger thanks to the Cuman bonus. So instead of having 250 HP palisades, your palisades are gonna have 375 HP. So basically, if you make a palisade, that's the amount of strength you have. And if you make two palisades, you're gonna have almost 800, 750 HP. It's basically like having a Feudal Age stone wall. So you do not have the stone wall, but you can just compensate it on the early ages by adding more palisades. Unfortunately, stone wall is not available. You do not have guard tower, so defending from enemy siege might be a bit hard as Cumans. This has to be taken into consideration when you choose to use this strategy. My personal recommendation: use this strategy on closed maps. Use this strategy in maps where early aggression on Feudal Age and on early castle won't be so usual. So let's say you are playing as pocket in Oasis, let's say you are playing in arena. Oh man, you are surrounded by walls, nothing can harm you on the early stages, right? So that's a safe strategy to be played, and obviously I would recommend you to use this on team games, okay? That's it. Alright, now let's take a look on this build. I'm going to do, guys, two versions of this build, okay? I'm going to do the standard one. Oh, I'm not so proficient, I do not know how to lure deers, I often have some misclicks, I often get my TC idle, I do not want to try this strategy and get like 2 views behind because I couldn't get food on my TC or something. No problem, use the basic version, which is the first one that I'm going to record right now. After I record the first one, I'm going to make the follow-up with a more advanced one using deers, luring, trying to optimize a bit the income of resources. Very well, let's start. You start, of course, by adding views and 2 houses and start to scout here with your scout unit. I'm going to start as all the build orders usually start, with 6 villagers eating the cows here, guys. And what I want to do now is to find my basic resources. I want to find the other ship, I want to find the 2 boars, I want to have 8 herdables, or 3 cows and 4 sheep, or 6 cows, all my herdables, okay? All the standard ones. It will also depend on what map you're playing. And I want to find also my 2 boars because we are going to use those guys on the Dark Age. Here we go, 6 views here on the cow. Now I'm going to place 3 views on the wood. What I'm going to do here, guys, in order to use this strategy is try to advance fast to the Feudal Age. But I do not want to advance so fast because I will also need the resources. So I have to balance advancing fast, but having enough resources to drop farms, drop town centers. I will need resources in order to make my equal progress here. I'm gonna eat the other cow, and right now I'm just going to mimic the build order that we do for Scouts Population 22. That basic one that allows us to upgrade to Feudal Age with 22 population. It's a very basic one, and it's a good basis for us to start working with the Cuman until we understand how this works, and afterwards we can make it a bit more complex by luring and doing so on. Alright guys, so I have 6 views here on the cows. I'm going to get the boar now. I have 3 on the wood only. I'm going to add 1 more here, so in order for us to have like 8 hunters. And I'm not even looking to my scout anymore, guys. I'm just going to focus on the economy here. I just found all the resources. I'm placing my scout on Auto Scout for recording build order purpose. And we're going to focus here on our TC. 8 hunters. After that, we're going to place 4 views here on the berries. 1 is going to make the house, the others are going to straight to the berries. As you can see, guys, I just keep adding all the views here on the food in a number, and if I need the 50 food, when my villager is around 80%, I'm gonna drop this food manually. Whoop, whoop. Drop it manually, and now I have the food. The idea of doing this is not to let your TC idle. It's kind of basic. And at all costs, no matter what build order we're doing, what you want to do here is do not let your town center go idle. Now that this boar has less than 150 food, I already sent the view to get the second one. I have the 4 villagers here on the berries, okay? And I'm going to keep adding hunters here, guys, until I have 14 views collecting food. Right now I have 13, 9 hunters and 4 on the berries. I'll have the 10th hunter, and then I can stop. I'm killing the boar with all the views. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I almost lost here my views, man. So make loom. That's some advice that I should give before. By the way, if you're not comfortable with your boar positions, make the loom. If you're not comfortable that you can do it, but if you are comfortable enough, just skip the loom until you are late on the next stage. By the way, guys, it might be hard to fit all the 10 hunters here on the boar. As you can see, this villager here is trying to find a place and he's not finding it. In that case, just start eating the next food resource. Just start eating the sheep. 14 on the food, all the others are going to the wood. Once I finish eating the boar, guys, I'm already going to test those views to eat the sheep. And I'm about to have my 22 population here. I have right now 6 views on the wood. I'm going to add loom. 1 more going there, so we're going to have 7. And now we are going to get 2 more views here from the ship and send to the wood as well, okay? Let's get those guys and send there. We're going to have 9 guys on the wood, 12 on the food, and we're going to click up to Feudal Age with population 22. I'm not going to make farms here, guys. What I want to do is to use all the food around my town centers and only make farms on Feudal Age after I make the horse collar upgrade. What I have to do right now is to keep eating the sheep, and when it's over, I will target my views to the wood. I will already choose 10 villagers to build my town center. My personal suggestion, get 5 from the TC, 5 from the wood, So we are going to still have 4 views working here once you start to build, and I'm going to build my town center on this place here. Alright, I'm also going to place 2 houses, even 3 houses, huh? If you get housed constantly, like I do, try to add more houses when you are in a close population. And of course, if you have spare wood like I do now. Let me just cancel those views and show how much resources I have here, guys. I'm not even on Feudal Age, but you can see that with population 22, we can make a huge bank of resources. And that's why this is a basic build order. It's not an optimal one. I didn't need to have like 900 resources banked here in order to drop the second town center, make the upgrades and keep booming. But if you make this like that, you are going to do it in a very safe way. And this is what a basic build order is meant to. After that, we are going to do it trying to optimize, trying to lure, trying to go for population 19, 18, and try to do things more fast. All right? Anyway, let's get the 5 villagers that I told you from this, from the TC. We're also going to get 5 views here from the wood, and we are going to get to quill a few views here. So we do not want to, because we do not want to have idle TC. As soon as we are on Feudal Age, drop the TC, upgrade the double bit X, upgrade the horse collar, and now comes something very important, guys. You need to keep those town centers producing views, and let's make some very basic mathematics here. You are going to need 6 views on food for each town center that you have. So I'm adding 4 farms on this TC. I have 4 villagers here still eating the berries, and they are still going to have berries for quite some time. So what we need to do is to add 4 more farmers until we have 8 farmers and 4 views on the berries. That's the 5th one, and as soon as we are adding views, we are going to add farms here. And once we finish the town center, we want to get those farms up as soon as possible. There it goes, more farms, more farms. We do not have the wood, let's wait a bit, no problem. We're soon going to have the wood. You can see that I'm not stopping to produce views, guys. You cannot go idle. With that view, guys, we already have 2 town centers that can sustain each other. Let's make a pause and make a brief analysis here on the situation. We have 2 town centers. It's like 12 minutes. Those 2 town centers are not gonna get idle. You have 12 views on the food, and those views can provide enough food for you to sustain your villager production, and you have all those views on the wood. And all those views on the wood will allow you to invest later in buildings, in more farms, in gold, and so on. And here's why this strategy is so strong. You are already booming. It's like 12 minutes. If your enemy is doing a regular fast castle, he's probably going to the castle age, or maybe he didn't even click it up to the castle age. And you were already here, producing villagers from 2 town centers. You have the wood upgrade and the mill upgrade so early, and that's how we're going to follow up this build. What will be the next step here? We're going to add views and to add farmers, and replace later those foragers here for farmers, until we have something around 20 or 22 views on the food. That's our next goal, okay? To have 20 or 22 views on the food. How are we going to do it? Every time we have like 60 food, we are going to add a farm around the TC. So let's keep producing views and let's go for this next goal. View and view. Farm, 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 view, view. I'm gonna target those guys to the wood. Ooh, more farms. And there we go. We're going to keep this. And also, guys, keep a look on your population. You do not want to get housed. Getting housed will slow down this strategy for you. It will slow down any strategy. Try to work on that. I need it as well, guys. It's not easy. Alright, adding now, we're going to have 18 farms, 18 views on the food with that one. 19. It's not so hard, huh? 20. See? You just keep adding views, keep adding farms. As soon as you have the food, we're going to have 20 views here, but those berries are soon gonna be over, so we're going to add to transition some of those views to the farms as well. We're going to stop on the number of 22 here, okay? This will be the 20. This will be the 21. And this will be the 22 farmer. 22 farmers we have. Now let's place some views on the gold, because to go to the next stage we are also going to need gold. I'm going to keep making the views, guys. Oh, house, huh? Let's make a house. Let's make at least a few more houses, because we need to keep producing those in order to get our eco strong. Look at our eco, guys. It's like 40 minutes, man. And we have 2 TCs full boom at 50 minutes actually. Huh? And of course, if you want to go to the castle age, what do you need? You do not only need the resources, you also need to add buildings. So we are going to add here 2 very basic buildings. We are going to add a market, okay? And we are also going to add a blacksmith here. Of course, always keeping the track of the views. Walk, 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 walk. I need the food, need the resources. There goes, blacksmith, market. I will have something like 5 views here on the gold, that's enough. And I'm going to place all the others here on the wood once again. You can see that my berries didn't run off. I have 22 views taking the farms here, but I'm going to do farmers once those guys are over. Right now, guys, you have an accident of wood. We are about to click up. As soon as we have 800 food, we will get like 200 gold around the same time, and we're going to click up. Alright, we are going to the castle age. Ooh. Do not forget to keep making views on from the other TC, okay? And let's add more lumber camps. Let's fix our eco here. Let's do some small investments here. Right now, guys, we have the 22 views collecting food. If we are going to the castle age, you can already research here the wheelbarrow, because you just passed 51 views within 17 minutes, man. That's crazy amount of views. Take a look here, 51 views. Try to do a regular boom. Try to go for a 3TC boom with the Persians, with Huns, with Indians, with any of your favorite civs, and tell me how much villagers you have at 70 minutes and a half. You are not gonna reach 50 views before 90 minutes with those civs, so you are ahead on the eco. You have a huge eco here, and there are like 2 follow-ups that I would like to talk to you about. There are 2 ways of following up this strategy, guys. And of course, you are going to have to analyze each game, each situation, and make this decision on your own. But what I'm going to do here is to give you tools to perform those 2 strategies, okay? That's what I'm going to allow you to do. So, first decision, you just want to keep booming until Imperial Age. Alright, you have 2 options. You can go for 3TC boom, just add 1 more. You can go for 4TC booms, add 2 more as soon as you hit the castle age, and you keep adding farmers, 6 views to keep each town center working. Try to aim to something like 40 farmers, and then you click imp. That's pretty easy. It's a very easy follow-up. You are just going to boom after that. We are going to do this first follow-up here, okay? The booming one. You analyze the matchup, you analyze the game, and you do not see any opportunity to use army here on the castle age. So what you are going to do, you are just going to wait until you reach the next stage. Those guys, of course, finish eating the berries, so we are going to replace them for farmers. You are going to keep the 22 views here. Look how beautiful, huh? 22 views here, and you can see that you already have a big bank of wood. We have a lot of views taking wood here. So as soon as we hit the castle age, what are we going to do? We are going to drop 2 more town centers. We have enough wood, but we only have 100 stone. So in order to boom, guys, with 4 town centers, we are going to buy stone. Let's buy 100 stone. If you have something like 200 gold, no matter how costly is the stone right now, you are probably going to be able to afford it. We are also going to make those TCs as fast as possible. We have a lot of villagers, so it doesn't matter for us if we use more views than the usual to build those town centers. I'm just going to keep sending the views here to the TC. It's like 90 minutes and a half now, and I'm dropping the 40C here, and I'm dropping, sorry, the 30C and the fourth one here. So we're going to have 40Cs booming, guys. What upgrades are I going to do now? I'm going to upgrade the Heavy Blow, I'm going to upgrade the Bow Cell. Those two upgrades are responsible for boosting up your eco. We're also going to upgrade here the gold mining. And as soon as we finish those town centers, we are going to keep making farms, guys, until we have 40 farms. If you have 40 farms, you can pretty much go to Imperial Age having the 40Cs and aim to go for the Paladins, for example. Your eco right now is very strong. We have a lot of upgrades, and when we reach the 18 view marks in 23 views from now, we're also going to make the handcart upgrade, okay? So let's go. We're almost finishing. Oh, we finished it. Let's make farms. We finished it as well. Let's make farms. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to let 1 TC on the gold, 2 on the wood or on the stone, doesn't matter. And what I'm going to do is to use all the wood that I have to get to the number of 40 farms here. 40 farms, here we go. Make farmers, make farmers, make farmers. Make farmers, make farmers, make farmers. I'm trying to make them around the TCs, around the mills. Some of them are not so great here, but the idea here is to focus, guys, on the macro. The idea here is to get those farm numbers, huh? Alright, we have 40 farmers, okay? 22 minutes. What are we going to do now? We are going to aim like 3 TCs on the gold. We already upgraded the gold on the first upgrade of it. We are going to send one view to build here a monastery, another view to build a university, and we are soon going to click to Imperial Age. That's right, we already booming a lot on Feudal Age. We already have 75 views, man. By the way, I talked that once we had about, we were around the 80 view mark, we would click on the handcart, right? And we are gonna do it. Of course, guys, I didn't mention, but I let my farms on the auto farm, and right now they are all going, all the farms that we did on Feudal Age, they are getting over, but there's no problem because we have a lot of wood, and this wood can allow us to keep producing the farms, even making the buildings. This eco is so strong that it allows us to do it. Now we have 40 farms, we have a lot of views on the gold. As soon as we can, guys, we can click to the Imperial Age. I also suggest that you click with the safest town center you have. Let's say a lot of army rush into your walls and they try to kill you. If your Imperial town center is the first one, it will be not good. But it's the one on the bottom, it's the one on the back, it's the safest one. There's a very small chance that enemy kills your Imperial Age town center. It happened to me before, so keep that advice in mind. Alright, we're going up, we upgraded the second cart. We have a lot of population, we are going to Imperial Age, and this is the boom with the Cumans. That's the transition to the Castle Age, that's the transition later to go to the Imperial Age. And what are you going to do now if you are a Cuman? Probably, guys, you are going to make paladins. So in order to make those, you need to make a barracks. You are going to need to upgrade all the armors from the paladin. If you want to go for the paladins, make a priority to make first the armor, later the attack. And you are going to have a very good transition to Imperial Age. That's a very strong booming. Your eco is probably going to be ahead from most regular boomings doing that. And that's the Cuman 2 TC boom into 4 TC full boom to Imperial Age. That's the first approach. You boom with 2 TCs, later you switch to a full boom on the Castle Age, and later you go for the Paladin, like I'm going right now. I'm adding a lot of stables. You want to have a minimum of 5 stables if you are going to the Paladins, guys. 5 to 7 is a good number, okay? Once you have excellent wood, you can keep making the houses. You can also make a few more farms, something close to 50 farms if you want to support your eco. It's around 26 minutes, around 27 we're going to reach the Imperial Age with a huge economy, man. A lot of stables here. Our 6 stables are there. We're going to upgrade the bloodlines. We're going to upgrade here the cavalier. We're going to make the economy upgrades. We're going to make the crop rotation. And we're also going to make the wood upgrade. Huh? The wood upgrade should even be first, guys, but no problem. Huh? Keep you make a few views. Our eco is huge, man. I feel so comfortable. And if you want, you can already start to make cavaliers from your stables. You already want to get into the fight, you already want to get the map. If it's an arena map, man, it's like 28 minutes. Most players are reaching the Imperial Age now, and you are already on Imperial Age, 40 boom it. You have all the upgrades possible here. You have all the mule upgrades, you have all the wood upgrades, all the gold upgrades you have as well. I'm already tasking a lot of views here to the stone, so I can even drop a castle on a strategical position and make trebuchets or make conscription or make whatever. I can make the plate barding armor. Oh, Stark, I do not want to keep going for cavaliers, man. I want to upgrade paladin as soon as possible. Don't worry, my friend. Forget about the 40 farms. Go for something like 50 farms, 55 farms, and then you're going to have eco to do it as soon as possible, okay? I'm just focusing on the eco to click to Imperial Age, the 40 farms here. And that's it. That's basically one of the initial follow-ups. From this point on, you can just keep adding more cavalry. You already have a lot of views. You can even stop making views by now, man. And just keep adding cavaliers. Later, you can upgrade the paladin as soon as you can. You can make the transition into the farms, as I said here. Let's add at least a few more farmers until we have more. Balance this eco. I should have done this a bit earlier, so if you can do it a bit earlier, it will be better. That's a small mistake on this build. And there we go. Now you can make trebuchets, now you can upgrade the conscription, so your stables work faster. You can keep making the cavaliers, you can keep making the upgrades. It's like 30 minutes, you are already on Imperial Age situation, full boom it, and you can do whatever you want. So that, guy, was the basic build order for Cuman 2 TC Boom. We did one of the follow-ups here. We did the full boom on Castle Age. Now let's just return and remake this build with 2 new stuff, okay? I need some water before we keep going. And I will also read some questions from the chat here. Just a second. Thanks for the host, man. Who the fuck hosted me? Robert Ulrich. Thank you for the host, my friend. Thank you a lot for that. Anyway, we did, guys, this first game going for a basic build order. But man, we went for population 22. If you are a more advanced player, if you already dominate all the basic build orders, you can just look at this build and say, oh, come on, Stark. You didn't need a loom, you could have gone for early villagers, you could have lured. It's arena, man. Every pro lures on arena and even on other maps. Why didn't you do this? Well, because it's a basic build order. So now what are we going to do? We are going, guys, to optimize our booming here. We are going to try to reach the feudal age much faster than we did before, okay? And we are going to try to reach the castle age faster as well. We did something like 19 minutes and a half castle age. Even if we still reach the castle age with 19 minutes and a half, we want to reach it with more villagers. We want to make our advantage even bigger than we did in the first version of this build. So let's go for the Cuman 2 TC Boom with lure and everything you can use. The start, guys, is pretty much the same here, at least in the first minute. We are going to find our resources here. We are going to make 2 houses and start eating the cows. So I'm starting eating the cows. I'm going to task 6 views to eat them. I already found, guys, my deer, which is very important. In most standard maps, you have these extra deers and the forward bushes, huh? We already found the wood, that's cool. Let's open some space for us to work. 6 views now on the cow. Let's place a few more on the wood. This time, guys, we are not going to add a lot of views on the wood, like 3. We are just going to use 2 villagers on the wood, only 2. Why are we going to use only 2? Because we want to focus all the villagers we can on getting food, okay? Last time we eat 3 cows, this time we're just going to eat 2. We are already going to get the boar guys here. And I'm already bringing more food to my town center. I'm luring here, guys. I'm using my scout to lure all the deers I can to the town center. Be patient, just start luring after you found the initial ones. Here it is, huh? We just killed in a very good place. We do not want to kill views around the TC. We want to kill those views, guys, the close in the TC as we can. Huh? Killing the boar. Oh my god, what a disaster! What a disaster. Huh? I just said that and I killed the boar like a mile away from the TC. No problem. If we just do not use those views here, it's still gonna be fine. Let's just try to use the other views here to provide food for us. Let's just try to use the hunters here, okay? I will try not to move those views, guys, from that are far away there. If I do not move those views, it doesn't matter if I kill the boar so far away. We have a lot of views on the food. I'm going to add now the meal, now that I have 100 wood here. That's the first time, guys, I'm moving those views from the boar. Huh? So I try to minimize the shit I did here. The house, the meal, and the berries. Let's go for the other boar. Let's keep luring. This build is already different from the other guys because I'm luring and I'm only letting 2 guys on the wood. Luring the 3rd deer. Let's try to kill this boar in a good place, huh? Oh my god, really? Ah, terrible one, huh? Oh my god, we are terrible killing the boars, man. Anyway, I will try to click, guys, with the earliest population that I can here. I have seen players doing this build with 18 views and 19 views. Unfortunately, guys, thanks to my terrible Dark Age, I won't be able to do so. So I will try to click up with 20 and no loom. It's still very fast, huh? 20 and no loom. Oh, some idle time. Let's see, we have to click up now. Food, 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 food. We didn't fail. Now, guys, we already pushed all those hunts to the TC, but we only have 2 views on the wood. Let's send 7 more, so we have, once again, 9 views here on the wood. The others here are finishing to eat the boars and the berries, the boars and the deers. We are going to send more views here to the berries. We are going to keep at least 4. We can even keep 5 in this build because we started eating the berries later on, and we are eating the wood. Different from the previous build order, guys, I didn't make the loom and I didn't do 2 extra views on the feudal age, and this is allowing me to reach a much faster feudal age time despite my terrible boar killings here, okay? Even with some terrible boar killings, you can still go for population 20 and only 19 views. Scout, your job here is done. Go somewhere. You can see, guys, that this time it will be easier for me to keep my TCs working, and despite not having as much resources as I had previously, I won't have trouble to make my TCs working. The reason is I have 4 sheep to eat that I haven't eaten. I have 5 views on the berries and I only started to eat later, so I can delay my farm a bit in order to make my TC, and I do not have 500 resources bank here. I only have the minimum that I want here. I'm gonna queue up 2 views. I'm gonna take some views from the TC and try to build the TC as fast as I can with something like 10 views. like I did before, okay? So 10 views building the TC, upgrading the wood and upgrading the mill. You can see right now that I just finished doing that, and guys, where are my resources? In the previous game, we had a lot of wood to already start making farms. On this one, you do not have. So keeping your TCs away from getting idle will be a lot harder this time, huh? But no problem, we can do it. Because we have 5 views in the berries, we have a lot of ships to eat, we have more time, and I didn't build the extra houses. Huh? I'm just now going to start making more houses. Just now. I used all the resources I could. I will keep 5 views here. Oh, come on. I'm gonna keep 5 views here on the ship, maybe 6. Huh? I will need 6, damn it. And I will start making farms, guys. The same thing that I did before, as soon as I can. Huh? You can see right now that I will have 12 views getting the food. We had a very similar situation. 2TC is working with 12 views on the food in the previous game with 12 minutes. Right now, in this game, it's not even 11 minutes. It's barely 11 minutes. And we have the same situation. This means that we are ahead on the villager count, and if we do not idle out our town center, we are going to be at least 1 minute faster in everything we did from the previous game. Let's keep going. I'm already going to micro my sheep so they are eating right next to each other here. And I'm going to use all the wood that I have here to make the farms, okay? Same thing I did before. Oh, start, how many farms? Same thing we did before, guys, 22. 22 views on the food. Try to optimize every single villager you find getting wood, getting any other resource, you are going to need it. Every time you have 60 wood, drop a farm. Do not bank up resources and never stop making views. We are still eating, guys, the sheep here. We are still eating resources from the Dark Age because we lured. That's the power of the lure. You use resources that were once far away from your TC, and you can use your herdables later on to keep your eco going. There we go. Keep adding farms, keep adding views. Very similar to the previous game, right? It's like 30 minutes, man. I'm not worried about my enemies. They are not even on Castle Age. The fastest booms from the other players, like the Khmer, like the Mongol, are probably just going to start in 1 minute from now. Because players will probably just reach Castle Age around that time, 30 and 30.5. And later they are going to do it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, how many views we have already? It seems like we already have 18 views here, 19 with that farm, so only 3 more farms, 40 minutes, and we are good to go. 1, 2, 3. We are, guys, good to go. We have 22 views getting the food, of course a few foragers that we're gonna later change, and we can now go for the gold. If you can make a very effective town center that gets both gold and wood, make it, you can save on a mining camp. If you cannot, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. At this point, guys, ooh, we are getting housed. Oh my god, that's terrible. If you get housed, go for the wheelbarrow. I didn't want to get housed, but I was distracted here. Terrible one, huh? Let's keep making houses. This will never happen again. This build order is full of mistakes, huh? Anyway, we have 22 views, we are getting the gold. Let's already make the buildings here. Let's go for the market, let's go for the blacksmith. That's just like the regular fast castle would go. And of course, we are going to start making the transition for the forage villagers here from foragers to farmers, okay? That's how humanity evolved, huh? We stop being gatherers and we start being farmers, huh? We are evolving here, guys. Look at this, huh? By the way, this time I only let, guys, 3 villagers on the gold. You can notice that I only let 3 views. Reason is, we didn't make loom, so we also had a 50 gold saving before, so that's it. We are gonna click up here in any second. In any second. Alright. Alright, so guys, we just click it up to the castle age. We have 22 villagers on the food, and those are 22 farmers. We have 22 farms. That's a good amount of farmers. We can sustain the production of the town centers. We can go and make the gold upgrade if we want already. And in the previous game, what did we do? We did a transition in a 4 town center boom. What are we going to do this time? And thank you for the host. This time we are going to make the transition into army. Let's say that you were playing here the arena game and one of your allies said, hey man, I'm going to play with a castle drop. I'm making a castle on my enemy, I'm going to make conquistadors on his face, or I'm going to make Iron Buys or something like that, or I'm Aztec and I'm doing a smush, I'm opening this guy with Rams, I'm opening this guy with monks. If you make knights, by now you can join and kill this guy. So there's an opportunity for you to use army on the castle age. Other situation, you were playing a hybrid map, or no, not a hybrid map. You were playing a same wall map like Oasis. Your allies just wall the sides. You were the pocket booming, and one of your allies is making archers, and he said, "Man, I think that we can break into the enemy and we can attack him now." What are we going to do? We are going to make a transition here, guys, into knights. How are we going to perform that transition? Well, quite simple. We are going up. We should be searching horse collar, but we just did a few minutes before by my mistake. We are going to get 3 views and make a barracks and 3 stables at least. We are going to send the next views to the gold, upgrade the gold, and we are going to add, guys, more farms. We want to have something around 28 farms, so 6 more here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why we want to have something like 28 farms here? Reason is quite simple. You want to have more farms because 12 farms are going to be only there to sustain your town center production. So 12 farms, and now you are going to have to sustain a lot of stables, at least 3 stables. Just going for 2 stables now is too late. You are going to be so slow to add the knights, so you need a minimum of 3 or even 4 stables on the strategy. I have seen players going full YOLO and 5 stables here. I wouldn't recommend. 4 stables is okay. Let's go for it. And of course, 6 views for each town center, and then we are going to have something like 5 to 6 views to each stable. Let's go. Upgrading now the armor. We're always going to prioritize the armor. Making more views here to the gold. And we're going to make more stables here, guys. We have 28 farms now. We are upgrading the bloodlines. We are making more stables. I'm going to make 4 stables here. You can see that our uptime is not so different from the previous game. We are having a very similar uptime. What is the difference from the basic build order? We are going to have more views. That's the only difference. Let's wait until we reach the castle age here, and we're going to talk about it. Oh my god, it's not even 20 minutes and we are here on the castle age with almost 60 villagers. We had some inefficiencies, we were housed, so we're around it. That's alright. What are we going to do here, guys? So, first off, what do you want to have to do with your knights? You want to spend the night and you want to go and attack your enemy as soon as possible. You read the situation, and this is not a situation where you want to make siege. That's a situation where the battle is there for you. You do not have to siege anyone, you do not have to break anything. Your allies already did it, or your allies are under pressure, so you are just going to mass the knights and fight. what are we going to do to allow this to happen in an easy way? We are going first to spend the knights and later upgrade them. So let's first focus on producing the knights. We already have the basic upgrades for them. We have the 1 armor and we have the bloodline. So let's make knights, knights, knights. Houses, of course. And let's just spend those knights. Of course, we also want to move a few views from the wood to the gold. We want to have at least 20 views here getting the gold here. And we are also going to upgrade the wood. We are also going to upgrade the rabbit plow for the new farmers. We do not want to abandon our eco here, okay guys? And we are going to have 1, maybe 2 views producing houses constantly here. I do not recommend you engaging in any battle before you have at least 6 to 8 knights. If you have to face a group of crossbows, if you have to face a group of enemy units, just be patient now, guys. You have 4 stables producing. You are soon going to have a big army of knights here in order to allow you to do it. I'm not thinking about eco, I'm fully thinking about army at this moment. Let's make more farms, going to 32 or something around it. You can see that the 28 were more than enough for us to keep the track of to keep the production of our army. I'm going to use my excellent wood and food to upgrade now the gold. We have like 20 views getting gold, man. Why not upgrading it, Keep making views, not stopping making views. And let's say that you want to fight. Alright, you already have 10 knights. You can take a lot of fights here. And you can just keep producing your knights. Oh Stark, but I want to siege town centers. My enemy has a few runs. I want to go under town centers. I want to kill views. I want my knights to be more bulky. What should I do? You just should make the second armor upgrade. The chain barding armor or the so-called +2. This will allow your knights to be able to withstand arrow fire and allow you to get a lot stronger. You can see here, guys, that I only focus on producing knights. So I stopped booming for a while. I'm just keeping making my views, but I'm not adding extra town centers because the focus now was adding army, okay? So I'm adding a lot of army. Now that I probably can just keep all my stables working, I can think about booming. I can think about adding more town centers. When you are doing strategies of as aggressive as that one, maybe you do not want to add 4 town centers. You already have a big number of views, maybe only 3 are going to be enough. Nothing is stopping you from adding the 4th one. And of course you have like 20 knights +2 here in order to fight, in order to make the damage. But there are some things that you should remind yourself. First, if you are doing knightsmen, you have to do the damage. You cannot just do knights and stay here on the walls. You have to kill, you have to raid, you have to do damage. Once you have 80 views, do the handcart. And do not stop making views. Alright? So those are a few of the things you should remember. Then you are going to keep adding farmers, slowly balancing your eco to go to the Imperial Age like we did in the previous version. You want to have 40 views only to upgrade. My knights are doing a good job here. We are trying to get some good damage on the enemy. You can also upgrade the attack of your knights with the excellent food here. But the priority is always the armor, guys. Always the armor is the priority, okay? So that's the Cuman TC Boom with the follow-up to go knights. And we did like 4 stable knights, guys. That's not weak. At some point, you will just realize that you cannot keep doing damage with the knights. You picked some good fights. You even killed some town centers, you even killed something, but you cannot keep going. Your enemy has asked for help, the pocket went for elephants or something, and you need to click up. Alright, it's as simple as that. Make the buildings. Make sure you have at least 40 farmers. The minimum of 40 farmers. As we were talking before, maybe we need a few more farms, like 55, in order to even upgrade the paladin directly. So we're even going to invest more. Make the 2 buildings and click up. You are still going to click up and reach Imperial Age within a very reasonable time. and is not going to be stuck on the castle age forever, okay? Let's just keep making views. Our knights are doing a lot of damage out there. So if you just attacked your enemy with something like 30 knights, man, it's not possible that he's just going to go for a 28-minute Imperial Age, not getting any damage on his base. And now you can just keep adding more knights as you please. You already have the upgrades. You are already going up. You are past the 100 view mark, and that's the second transition. In one of them, you play on the Castle Age. In the second one, you play on the direct straight to Imperial Age in a more boom-oriented approach. And that's it. That's the power of the two TCs from the Cuman. As I said before, try to invest more, guys, in making a few more farms here. Try to get your third gold. If you are going to Imperial Age, it's always a good choice to get like 8 views here if you're not needing them to get food or wood or gold, and place on the stone so that you can drop a castle later on, so that you can make something like the conscription, trebuchets if you need, and that's it. There's another weapon, guys, that I didn't even mention that the Cumans have. They can make capped runs on the Castle Age. So if you're having some trouble to use those knights, or if your enemy is trying to stop you by making a lot of castles, town centers and walls, stopping you with buildings, consider doing the capped runs, okay? That's it. We are going to the Imperial Age. We have plenty of resources, plenty of farms here. We have all the eco upgrades so far, the gold, the TC, the mill, the wood. Our enemy is even resigning, man. He should. This fucker should resign, man. We did it. And that's the power of the Cuman 2 TCs. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have taken a look on how this works. It's because of the advantage you have on the views. You can use this advantage on the Castle Age by making a transition into 3 or 4 stables. You can make an hybrid of that. You can just, for example, add three stables and add another TC right after you click Castle Age, so you balance booming and making knights, and that's how you're going to use this. Alright? Some small observations. What are the biggest risks for that strategy? If you're playing in a 1v1 scenario, it's terrible for you if your enemy just goes for a very fast Castle Age. Let's say you are facing a Khmer, and this Khmer went for a 13-minute Castle Age, and he just dropped a siege workshop on your gate, and he starts to pushing you with something like 40 minutes. Man, you are not going to reach Castle Age for the next 5 minutes. So this Khmer has like a 5-minute window to break your walls that are not going to be strong enough. You are not going to have enough stone to make towers, because you are going to be focusing on investing all your resources in economy. So this is the hardest counter for this strategy. Being attacked between 14 and 20 minutes, where you don't have enough numbers, where you do not have enough defenses, you do not have extra stone walls. If you want to make towers, you need to buy towers. If your enemy focusing a lot of mangonels, you do not have guard towers. So you are going to trust only in army to defend yourself, and that's why I would recommend this strategy to be played in pocket positions, in more closed maps, in maps where this early aggression is not gonna happen, okay? But if you are brave enough and you wanna try out this strategy in a more open map, let's say Arabia, my only suggestion for you is to try and wall a bit your base, try to get enough space to make your farms, and if your enemy is pressuring you on the feudal, consider always adding more walls, consider putting like a few views on the stone to make 1 or 2 defensive towers. Let's say that my enemy tried to attack me with archers in this map. I could have just made a second layer of wall. I could have tried to make my farms on the back of my base instead of the front, and maybe make 1 or 2 towers in front of those town centers to clean that area and make it safe for me. That's it. Now it's just cut and put it on YouTube. Maybe next year. GG. Technology wise, 90-minute Castle Age, 19 or 20 minutes is what you want. And the difference from the previous one, 8 minutes and 59 Feudal Age. I have seen this in 8 minutes and a half, and it's possible to do. Just practice and you can make this even stronger.